To all the viewers, good morning. I'm Cui Chunta from CCTV News. Today we're at Kunming to bring you the live streaming. So today we have a special topic. We're going to experience all the variety of flowers because these days is the 19th China Floriculture Retail Forum. And during this period of time, thousands of flower arrangers and retailers will attend this Floriculture Retail Forum. And I'm very happy to wake you up with this magnificent Floriculture Retail Forum. And today we have a special guest, Mr. Chen Rui. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Floriculture Department of Yunnan Agriculture Department. Mr. Chen is very familiar about the organizing procedure of this Floriculture Retail Forum, and also he can give us a lot of knowledge about all kinds of flowers. During the live streaming, if you have any questions related to flowers, you can leave a message and leave a comment, and Mr. Chen will answer all of these questions for you. Now we have entered into the hall. And here we can see there is a booth setting up by the Yunnan Floriculture School. So for this school, they also have a plantation site in Kunming city. So this school also have a research center in Kunming city. So for this school, they are running business for the floriculture, and also they're doing some research for the flowers. So this one is the Trisella dizzy. The signal is poor at this area. We will move to another booth. Because we are trapped in the smaller size of this site, probably the signal is not very well. First, I would like to give you some background knowledge about this Floriculture Retail Forum. And in this exhibition center, there were 3 sections. So many retailers and florists are attending this retail exhibition. There are also some e-commerce retailers and logistics vendors are coming here. In order to get the freshest flowers, we need a very fast and effective logistics service. You see a lot of plantation retailers are attending this retail forum. At least 50% of the vendors are from the plantation retailers. So all of the major plantation vendors are attending this retail forum in Kunming city. So this is another company called Aibida. This is also a model company in the Kaiyuan district. So how many retailers in total? We have 339 retailers attending this retail forum, and we setting up 1,056 booths, and 200 of them are standardized exhibition platforms. So this is a smaller size flower exhibition. They have very cutting-edge technology, so we are waiting for some experts to come back and give us some introduction about their technology and the flowers. So here we have the business manager of the company. So for 爱比达, it was founded in 2009. We imported most of the roses and also imported color lilies from Netherlands. And we also have a 2,000 mu square in Italy, which is dedicated to plant roses. And for all of these roses, they have a special theme, and we name these roses with their horoscope. So for this kind of flowers, what are the differences with the roses that we are seeing in the market? Well, we're using the imported flower seeds. So all of these roses are actually imported from the Netherlands. We are growing these roses in the warm houses in China. And most of the technology are actually imported overseas, and it is up to the international standard. So we can guarantee the quality of the flowers that we have planted in Yunnan province. Sometimes the price of the flowers may fluctuate, depends on the weather condition. So basically, you are just introducing some of the advanced technology from overseas to grow flowers in China, right? And we are also trying to find out the most premium varieties of the flowers. Let's take a further look at the imported varieties of flowers of 爱比达 company. So this is quite advanced. You can see here we have some like mini roses. We call them princess rose. And most of the color are very popular, for example, the red color and the pink color. And for this bunch of roses, it is favored by the Denmark princess. And we name these roses with the approval of that princess of Denmark. So for this kind of roses, they will experience several rounds of the blooming seasons. And for the blooming period, it's around 3 to 4 weeks. And after all of these flowers bloom, we will cut and decorate these roses. And we also fertilize these roses, so after 3 or 4 weeks later, these flowers will bloom again. So for this kind of pot roses, you can actually raise it for a long time because it will bloom every 3 or 4 weeks. Actually, we see a lot of these kind of roses in the market. It is very popular in China. Thank you. Hopefully, in the future, more and more imported flowers can come to China. And today, the main task for us is to appreciate flowers. And at the same time, we will also give you some introduction about the latest development of the floriculture industry. And this is dye flowers. Any representative to give us some introduction? This is the color series. So meaning that all of these flowers are dyed? Yes, but it is poison-free. We're using a cutting-edge technology to color these flowers, so these flowers will never fade. You can see the daisies around here and the roses. These are the latest technology for us. And for this one, also color flowers. In the past, the color was actually sprinkled to the flowers. That is the traditional technology. But that is not healthy. That's why we upgraded the technology, so you can keep the flowers for a long time and the color will never fade. So blue is the thin color. And for this area is the fresh flowers. So for this one, it is also very popular. We have 7 colors. This is we call the hypercore. And this one is very beautiful because for this bunch of flowers, it is a multicolored flowers. So how can you manage to do it? For example, for one flower, you can dye different petals in different color. This is a suction technology that we are using. So we start to color the flower from the stem of the flower. So look at this one. If you put this in your lobby, this is just like a rainbow. Just imagine every time when you walk into the living room, you can see these kind of colorful flowers. It's very refreshing. This is quite eye-catching for the color. So you are using the most advanced technology to make the dye flowers. So actually we are the first company who are doing the dye flowers with the suction technology. And for this one, it is the Eurostoma. And we are quite expertized in the dyeing technology of Estoma. And we also have the mini chrysanthemum. So this chrysanthemums has different names depending on their shapes. For example, the middle one we call it the button chrysanthemum, and also the right side, the shape is just look like a ping pong ball, so we call it ping pong chrysanthemum. However, this is actually belong to the same variety. We exported these kind of flowers to Japan, so 60% of the chrysanthemum in Japan are actually imported from China. We see so many kinds of chrysanthemums here. So how many varieties in total that have been exhibited in this forum? We are still calculating. But you can see each company, they will bring at least 30 variety of flowers. And this company is Jiahai Company. This is also a local company in Yunnan province. Can you give us some introduction about the flowers that you have? So this year's Floriculture Retail Forum, it is the largest one that we have been attending. And our company has brought Eustoma and also the new varieties of the Eustoma. This is one of the fourth well-known flowers in Yunnan province. So we supply 95% of the Eustoma to China. So you just mentioned that we have some new varieties of the Eustoma. Can you give us some further introduction about that? For the first row, it's actually imported from Japan. Some of the seeds are actually imported from Japan. And also we have a different kind of varieties, for example the wave variety. And for this one it looks like jade. So this is a very good flower, so you can use it in your living hall. And this color is very gentle. And you can keep it. You can also keep this kind of flower for a long time. It is very popular among retailers. And you just mentioned that the seeds are actually imported from Japan. So these seeds are actually cultivated by Japanese companies. So when you are raising these seeds, do you have to pay this Japanese company for IPR? Well, we are just purchasing the seeds from Japan, and for the price, it includes the IPR fees. So first, you buy the seeds from Japan. After you cultivate these flowers, you will export this kind of flower back to Japan, right? We will classify the flowers in different varieties. For example, for level A flowers, we will export these flowers to Japan, Thailand, and other Southeast countries. And also, some citizens would like to buy a bunch of this kind of flowers to decorate their homes. And for a bunch of Eustoma, it is around like 25 RMB, so 2.5 RMB for each one of them. But as this kind of flower become very popular, so the price going up a little bit compared to its previous price. Now the supply needs is very huge, so that's why the price go up a little bit. And for your company, you're also dedicated in developing new varieties of Eustoma. Yes, each year we will develop 2 to 4 new varieties, so that this can show our competitiveness of the company. So just see some roses, chrysanthemum, and the Eustoma. So in Yunnan province, I want to ask, what is the most popular one? What is the flower that takes up the biggest share? In Yunnan province, potted flowers and fresh cut flowers is very famous. So for the fresh cut flowers, it is mainly roses or Eustoma and lilies, chrysanthemums. So all of these fresh cut flowers accounts for 70% of the total fresh cut flowers in China. So meaning that in all of the florist shops, like 70% of the flowers are actually coming from Yunnan province. We're very proud of it. And Yunnan has been growing fresh cut flowers for 3 decades. This is another floral company. It is dedicated in dye flowers and imported flowers. Actually, it is a training center as well. So you can see all of these flowers are imported. I think these roses are imported from Kenya. So the name of the roses is called Freedom. So for the capacity of the roses and the flowers, Yunnan province actually rank on top of the world. And the productivity accounts for like ranking number 2 in the world. So when I'm talking about this market share, I just referring to Yunnan province. Let's go to another company, a seed company. So we are going to the seed and sprout company. So this company is from Heisen of Netherlands. So are these flowers also dye flowers or fresh flowers? This is dye flowers. So can you give us some introduction about the flowers that you have? Can you give us more information, because we are bringing the live streaming to our audience? So all of these flowers are raised from hash farm. And these flowers are also imported from Netherlands. However, on the other parts are actually just grown locally in Yunnan province. And this one is the mini chrysanthemum. You can see the shape is very cute. And we have this new product we call Floriculture. It's a new series. This is also a kind of chrysanthemum. And we dye these flowers, so you can see the color is quite different. The original color is in white. But we want to produce more colors so that we bring more choices to the consumers. And for these flowers, it's quite dedicated and very popular in the public. So in the past, people fancy large kind of flowers, but now people like mini-size flowers. And for this one, we call it the ping pong chrysanthemum. You can see the shape is quite unique. It is very popular during the Children's Day, because people can make some decoration on these flowers. For example, you can make a shape of a cartoon character, so it is very popular among kids. This is the green chrysanthemum, also in the shape of a ping pong ball. It looks very cute. And some people want to touch it, and it feels very good. And we have the single petal carnation. This is the specialized designed carnation and the dolomil. And we also call it butterfly carnation because you can see the shape is like the butterfly. And also we have the Peruvian lily. Can we grow this in China? Yes, we actually raise this in a local farm in Kunming city. And also this one is the latest product, right? Well, we have been cultivating this kind of variety for many years. And you can see the color is quite eye-catching. Now let's take a closer look. So we have around like 3 or 4 flowers on one stand. So this is a flower arrangement work. So it combines different variety of flowers that was imported from the Hyacinth company. This is quite amazing. And for this one is the big leaf hydrangea. Even though we don't have a lot, it's not that delicate, but some people fancy this kind of large shape of flowers. And it is frequently used for weddings. Many people use this kind of hydrangea to decorate their wedding venue. So we also visit in another imported vendor. Let's find something special. So for this company, it is dedicated for potted seeds. This is from Belgium. So our specialty is in the seeds and the sprouts. So we are focused on the sea lavender and the roses. So what is the differences for this kind of flowers and the others? So for this kind of potty plants, you need to have a very good condition. You have to put it into a greenhouse, which means it requires a very high level of technology to cultivate this kind of potty plants. So for our company, we will develop the seeds on our own. And if we identify some premium seeds overseas, we will bring them back to China and sell it to domestic families. So what is that one? Those what we call the pineapple flowers. So all of you can keep one of these at your house. Also, these flowers can be used for landscape arrangement in the garden. And you just mentioned the flowers that are using for the wedding. So I was wondering, for the forum today, so are there any other, for example, the meeting organizers to bring their flower Currently, the floriculture has been undergone many stages, and in the past, the flowers are just used for like conference meetings or weddings. But now, with the upgrade and the improvement of the flowers, as well as the change of the consumption habits, nowadays more and more people want to decorate their homes with flowers. That's why we see some new business models emerging in China. So for this company, they're dedicated for imported flowers, and they also do some e-commerce business. Can you give us some introduction about these flowers? So these flowers are imported from Netherlands. We can see the eustoma, the tulip, the violet, and also we have the Peruvian lily. And for this Peruvian lily, the place of origin is Colombia. So for these flowers, they should have a very short lifetime. So how do you keep it for a long time? Well, the treatment of the flowers is quite premium. After they pick the flowers, they will put it into water to keep them alive. And also for the international flights, they will control the temperature inside the cabin. And after we take the flowers, we will put it into our warehouse. So all of these flowers are in very good conditions. So you can keep these flowers for 2 to 5 months. For example, for this kind of eustoma, if you can like buy it from the first time, you can keep it for at least 40 days. So how long it takes for the eustoma to be picked and then arrive at China? So at least it takes around like 5 days. So the first day they will pick the flowers, and then the transportation will take around 3 days. And then the 5th day, we can receive the flowers. That depends on the variety. For the chrysanthemum, sometimes they are being transported by containers, so it takes around like 2 weeks to arrive in Japan. And for the roses, we targeted these pure color roses. These are from Ecuador. And also we developed some new varieties of roses in China. For example, this one, this pink color is quite precious. So in total, there are only 300 roses available in the world. You can see the color is quite special compared to other roses. Well, it's quite big. It's even larger than my fist. So you can see the blooming is quite fascinating, and it is as large as a fist and even larger than a peony. And for these roses, these are dye roses. And also you can see up there we have the baby's breath. And we are working with the Ecuador farm. It is a very professional company who raised the baby's breath. Well, you can see we see love roses here, but this variety are imported from foreign countries. So with the increase of the consumption needs, we have more and more flowers imported from foreign countries. There are 3 major regions that produce flowers. Colombia is one of them, and Kenya is the second one, and Yunnan province is the third one. So these three regions are the most favorable regions to produce flowers. And for Netherlands, they're expertized in the seeding and the sprouts, so they're focused on the research part. But in terms of the productivity of the flowers, Netherlands is ahead of China. They always develop new varieties of flowers. So these years we also hold technology exchange with Netherlands. And for Netherlands, they have a lot of well-known flower plantation sites. But all of these companies also set up the plantation site in Yunnan province. So the research part is done in the Netherlands, and also some of the flowers have been brought to Yunnan province for further cultivation. And for this company is also a foreign invested company. You can see so many varieties in their exhibition site. Hello, we are from CCTV. We can see so many beautiful flowers. Can you give us more introduction about your flowers? Which one is the most popular one? We have over 30 varieties of flowers. Which one is your favorite? This is the Austin roses. You can see the shape is very nice and with multiple petals. All of these are different varieties of roses. And also we have some like imported roses. For example, this one, you can rarely see this kind of variety in the market. It looks like a cake, to be honest. This is a Kenya variety. It is the first time that we bring this variety in China, even though it is rose, but it looks quite unique. We just seen some of the large size roses, just like a peony, and here we also see the roses in the shape of a cake. It's quite unique. So as Mr. Chen just told us that some of the flowers are actually imported from other countries, we do see a lot of unique features with these flowers. And also there is a floral arrangement performance happening right now. Let's take a look.
各位观众朋友，我们这边是又到了一个展馆哈。您好，打扰您。
We're coming to on another site. You can see a florist is doing the flower arrangement. Can you give me some introduction about this performance? So this is the master in flower arrangement from Japan. And he's doing a mix feature flower arrangement. So maybe we can invite this florist to give us more introduction. Can you give us some introduction about the flower arrangement that you are doing? I choose some oriental flowers, and also I choose some Western flowers. So it's a combination from the Oriental flowers and the Western flowers. Just let's take a look on the flower arrangement. So this is a creative flower arrangement, combining the Oriental flowers and the Western flowers. Well, I'm not talking about the flowers itself. I mean the filling itself. So at the bottom part, you can see some of the Asian filling, but on top, you can see it is quite Western. So we just want to bring some romance into this piece of work. This is a recreation of flower arrangements. We have different kinds of flowers. We have the roses from Ecuador and also some flowers from Japan and Netherlands. So for this flower basket is the piece of work that was produced yesterday. With the high-level skills and the delicate selection, you can feel the different colors and also the creativity from the artist. And this florist, he's always give a name to this kind of work. So you can see from all of his work, you will understand he's a man who loves life. You can see here we gather so many visitors who are appreciating the flower arrangement. You can see the florist is very dedicated in the creation, so we just don't want to interrupt him. And many audience are gathering here to appreciate his work. Pretty soon, you will see a piece of art in the vase. And also we see different kinds of flower arrangement works here. So we just emphasize the nature. And we are doing the flower arrangement. We don't make too many changes and adjustments of the flowers. We just want to demonstrate the original shape and the original filling of these flowers. So all of these flower arrangements are made by our own team. So for this kind of flowers, you were making it just for exhibition, but if the consumers love this kind of flowers, are you going to sell these flowers? Yes, we're selling this. And also we have a e-commerce platform, so people can order flowers and the flower arrangements from us. So earlier we just seen some like individual flowers, but in this shop, you can see they're creating bundles of flowers. So it's so nice that you can purchase one bunch of these flowers and decorate your living room. Thank you. This is recreation of the flowers, which also increase the value of the flowers. So we are actually giving another life to the flowers. We just make some decorations and package of the flowers. So with the package, the price of the flower will go up. Probably the original price for the flower is only 1 RMB, but with the design and decoration, probably it will go up to 10 or 100 RMB. So we understand that Yunnan is the original place to grow flowers, so it is relatively cheap to buy flowers in Yunnan province. But if you buy the same amount of flowers in some first-tier cities, and then the price will go up. Well, this kind of mindset needs to be changed, because in the future we are selling these flowers like by bunches instead of by kilograms. And for these companies from Shanghai, they travel all along to Yunnan province to showcase their products.
Thank you. So this is performance. Yes. We have flowers from all over the world. We ship from Kenya, Colombia, Ecuador, from Holland, of course, Italy, and we ship them all to China. And what we love to do, especially for nice festivals like Qixi, we like to make beautiful bouquets and combine all the roses together.
刚才呢，这位参展商是跟我说呢，他们
And the exhibitor just told us that all of these flowers are shipped from all around the world, including Kenya, Ecuador, Holland, and they bring these flowers in China.
It's good. It's developing. We see that the market here in China is really developing as well, very fast. And we see that also the local flowers are very beautiful, but we like to combine them with imported flowers, so that together the whole flower market will bloom. Yeah.
Makes the world beautiful. Yeah, thank you. 刚才这位女士也告诉我们，就是我刚才
The lady just told us, well, my question is that, so how do you feel about your business in China? They're saying that it's quite good because China has a huge market, and they imported flowers all around the world, and they are selling very well. Let's take a look at another booth. Let's find something different. And the lady just told us that the flower industry in China is growing rapidly, and it makes the world much beautiful and make people's life much beautiful. And they're very delighted to be in the business of flower culture. Look at this one. This is imported from South Africa and Kenya. So for just such a small exhibition site, we can see the flowers all around the world. Mr. Chen, do you find any different, like any special for the flowers? So which kind of flowers will be grown in Yunnan province in the future? So for all of these flowers exhibiting today, they will enter the Chinese market pretty soon. So in the upcoming 1 to 2 years, these flowers will enter the Chinese market, and today is just like a platform to showcase the varieties of their flowers. And also we see some flowers from Australia. So which ones that we have been imported to China? For some of the Macomas daisy, we have already seen it in Yunnan province. And for this chrysanthemum, is quite unique. It is the African style of the chrysanthemum. It looks like a sunflower. so dazzling of all these kinds of flowers. This is a feast for my eyes. I can also feel the fragrance of the flowers. And these flowers are imported from Netherlands. This is also a kind of hydrangea. Very beautiful flowers. And also we see some of the seeds of the leaf master. And the color looks very beautiful and comfortable. And purple is the theme color for this year. For the retailers, they will also consider the popular color of the season in order to develop the variety of their flowers. For example, if purple is the popular color, they will try to develop flowers with the purple petals. And he just gave us some introduction about the latest trend of the floriculture industry. And today it's very lucky for us to appreciating the flowers at the Floriculture Retail Forum. And here is another exhibition booth. This one is organized and funded by the provincial government. Some of these plants and flowers are actually coming from the 5 regions of Yunnan province. So we can see different types of flowers demonstrating here. We also see different shapes of chrysanthemums. So these are the products from the 5 regions of Yunnan province. We see some like chrysanthemum and some fresh cut flowers, and also we see a lot of succulent plants. So what are the featured succulent plants that you are planting? So this is the breeder. So maybe we can have him give us more introduction about the succulent plants. So what are the latest varieties of the succulent plants? So for these succulent plants are imported from South Korea. We get the seeds and we cultivate the plants on our own. And we also develop our e-commerce platform as well as the offline brick-and-mortar stores to sell these succulent products. So how can you control the shape of this succulent plant? Well, we have to pay attention to the sunlight and also the water they receive every day. You can see some of them are in larger shape, some of them in smaller shape. We have to control all of these weather conditions and the nutritious conditions for these plants. If we are not regulating the sunlight, probably the shape and the condition of the succulent plants will be changed. We think this kind of plant is very popular in the market.
在咱们这个展会的现场，不但是有这个鲜切花呀、盆栽呀，还有。
And you can see indeed today's exhibition, you can not only see the potted plants and the fresh cut flowers, but you can also see some succulent plants exhibiting here. Let's continue our tour.
那么各位网友，如果有关于花卉方面的一些问题，
If you have any questions related to flowers, please leave a comment and message.